Jimmy wrote a story that's out there right now. You can go read it. It was posted 6 hours ago at cleveland.com. The Browns are about to tell us who is responsible for the Deshaun Watson trade.
How was that?
The subheadline says Browns owners D and Jimmy Haslam have 66 days before they tell us. I think Jimmy's point's a really interesting one.
Okay, and it is?
It's this. If when the season ends and you get to Black Monday in the NFL,
that's what's
when you start firing coaches and general managers, his point is, to sum it up, is this. If they get through Black Monday and Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry are still in their jobs, then the Haslams were responsible for the Deshaun Watson trade. And if they're gone, then they were. I agree with Jimmy to some extent on this. And here's what I agree with.
Okay, what is it?
If by chance Andrew Berry is the guy completely responsible for the Deshaun Watson trade, I would think he's going to be unemployed after the season unless they turn it around in a big, big way. And if you're going to move on from your general manager, you'd probably move on from your head coach too. However, we assume, I think everybody assumes, because you don't make that deal unless ownership at least signs off on it, of course, unless, and maybe even instigates the whole idea, which, is one theory that's out there. You could make the argument of this, Andy. Okay. And the Haslams have already said, Jimmy said, we took a big swing and miss.
Yeah, I don't know how much more you're going to get out of an ownership.
But he didn't say he took the big swing and miss.
No.
He hasn't said, I'm the guy who said, let's do this. But it's this. You could say he's already given them okay, you're off the hook because let's just say this is the scenario. Fellas, I know I'm the guy who told you to make that trade. And, we had talked about it. You gave it to me. And I said, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Oh, wait a minute. He doesn't want to come here? Okay. Well, now Baker doesn't want to talk to me. Give him whatever he wants. If that's what Jimmy Haslam said.
Is that what we find out in 66 days, if that's 100% true?
Maybe. That's what Jimmy's kind of thinking.
Well,
but here's the thing.
The fact that they're still here, though.
Even if Jimmy Haslam did that.
Okay.
He could have, and I think this is fair. Hey, fellas, I know this is a scenario. I know I told us to do this trade. I know that's on me. That's why you're back after going 3-14.
Maybe they knew.
Maybe he's already given him that
and maybe
get out of jail free card.
The thought partners all got together in the beginning of the season when they got into the draft.
Nice.
And they all determined, they're like, hey, guys, this isn't working. We don't know. I mean, we had thought that maybe Deshaun would have been the answer by now. He's not. We swung and missed. I get it. And we had hoped that had worked out. It didn't. Okay? And so now
you're all back after 3-14.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. As long as we don't embarrass ourselves every week, some might say that. But as long as the defense is saving you from embarrassment every week. Every week, the defense saves this team from embarrassment.
Do you think
15.7 says embarrassment every week?
Do you think ownership gave the front office and the coaching staff a pass after 3-14? Because if they did, even if the Haslams were completely responsible for the Watson trade, could you, if they go 3-14 again or 4-13
this year?
That'd be a lot.
It's really easy to fire a coach that has less than 4 wins.
Yeah.
It's really easy. It doesn't matter if you could make it to the playoffs and come back and have a 4-win season and say, boop, see you later.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the NFL. There's no, sorry, I'm not trying to be, you know how I feel. I like Kevin. But, I mean, the reality of it is you're an NFL coach. They'll give you a couple years if you're lucky.
Manager.
Remember, Chud didn't even get another year.
No, and general manager.
Yeah. And so I just wonder if it's an all or nothing. Like, if one goes, do they both go?
Well, but
at some point, does Jimmy Haslam say, look at all the money I'm spending, and you know what? DePodesta is out too. What if all three of those? I'm just kicking the can on some of this stuff. I don't know, but I do know one thing cures all of it, and we don't question whether guys are going to be coming or going. When you win, you don't worry.
If they don't turn things around and win some football games here late.
Could you imagine having the problem of not winning enough playoff games here? I can't remember.
If they go 4-13 or 5-12 this year, and Andrew Berry and both Kevin Stefanski are back, then I think Jimmy Watkins in his story in the Plain Dealer is absolutely right. That's absolutely telling you that was on us, and we're giving you 2 years to get it turned around. Because you could make the argument that they went ahead and gave him a pass after 4-13. Because, I mean, coaches get fired. You don't go from 11 wins in a playoff trip to 4-13 and keep your job all the time. Okay, sometimes maybe there were circumstances, but sometimes maybe you don't go from 11 wins to 4 wins to something like 4 or 5 wins the next year and keep your job. So Jimmy, I think, is right on that. If these guys don't get things turned around this year and finish with another bad win total, 4, 5, 6, something like that, and they keep their jobs, I think ownership is absolutely telling you, you guys get a chance to dig out of this because we put you in this hole. But I do think you can make the argument it's the NFL. Things happen in a hurry. You could say that ownership already gave them a pass and a free year after going 4-13. And even if the Haslams feel, hey, it was all on us, but you won 5 games after 4-13, we're going to make a change anyway. And I don't think anybody, if they went 5-13 this year, Andy, I think everybody would understand that. Even if the Haslams completely put them in that hole by making that trade that hasn't worked out.
Would you feel better if the Haslams came out and said, you know what? The trade was our fault.
Yes.
I would too.
Yes.
I think fans would respect the Haslams if they came out and said.
I don't think there's any question.
But then again, you're 66 days away from this, right? So if the Haslams came out and said, and I don't know if the other owners would like this or not, but if they came out and said, but by the way, what do they don't care about other owners. We found that out with Deshaun Watson, right? I would love it. I think that
we insisted on this trade. It wasn't fair to Andrew. It wasn't fair to Kevin. And that's why they are getting the chance to dig out of this.
The beauty of it is, Jimmy and D could come out and say, this was, or Jimmy or D, I don't know who actually pulled the 100% trigger, but someone from the Haslam Sports Group said, let's do this.
Yep.
Let's pay this man the money that no one's ever seen before.
And let's give up 6 draft picks to get him.
And guess what? I was wrong. I will take. Do you know how much respect I would have for an owner that would do that?
We thought it would be an upgrade at quarterback for us. It hasn't turned out that way. And we dropped that on the GM and the coach and told them to deal with it and make it happen.
Yeah.
That would be huge. Now,
do you think fans would respect him if he did that?
Absolutely, they would. Absolutely.
Because guess what? When you're the owner, you can say that, and you're not going anywhere. You're still the owner. You have nothing to lose by saying that. You have everything to gain and nothing to lose. I agree with that.
What's anybody going to do? You got your Dome Stadium on the way.
Yeah.
You own the team. Nobody's going to force you to sell it.
And now your fan base understands why you're doing what you're doing.
And they understand why your coach and GM would still be in place.
Yeah. Because most places we're looking at, we're going, 3 wins. How did anybody survive in the front office on that? Do you know what? I had this.
And if you follow it up with another bad season, Andy,
if you follow up another bad season, it's on them. Okay, we're washing our hands of this thing. We know where we are. We're at the end of the road with the Watson deal. We made a mistake. Deshaun may go somewhere else and maybe resurrect his career somewhere. But you know what? My fault. My bad. I was wrong. I'm ultimately paying the price for this. But I want you to know this is why these 2 guys are still here. And I think fans.
And that's a scenario.
I think fans would have tons of respect for that.
I agree with you.
I do too.
Read Jimmy Watkins' piece in the PlainDealerCleveland.com on that. It's really good. My only question is, have the Haslams already done that by allowing them to come back, this year, giving them a pass?
The swing and a miss was pretty brave for an owner.
It was pretty brave. Yeah, that really was. That was a big, bold statement. Dylan Gabriel, he's starting quarterback of the Browns for now. Who knows how it plays out down the road? But right now, he's made 4 starts, Andy. And people have decided 4 starts, that's enough. He can't play. I find that preposterous.
I think if you take the names off the back of the jerseys, it's a different story. Like if there wasn't first of all, it's the way Kevin Stefanski's looking at it, right? Like Kevin Stefanski's not buying into noise on stuff. If he believes, Dylan Gabriel is the guy, then Dylan Gabriel is going to be the guy week in and week out.
Yep.
At some point, I think he's going to feel some pressure from internal pressure to put Sanders out there if you have
unless internal pressure. If the guys in the locker room, and I don't know if this is the case, if players in the locker room think one guy is more prepared and more ready to play, Dylan, than Shedeur, then I don't think you would feel pressure from the locker room.
No, you'd feel pressure from front office and marketing. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but the front office would probably know if the guy's ready to play or not. And if Dylan's not doing the job and Shedeur is ready to play, then Shedeur should play. And it's pretty simple. But I do find it aggravating that so many people have called and said we've seen enough of Dylan Gabriel and he can't play and blah 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 blah. The guy has started 4 games as a rookie.
Well, there's no patience because they took away the patience from him because they drafted another quarterback. Doesn't matter what his last name is. When they drafted another quarterback, they took all the patience away.